In this live, I wanted to talk about a thought, a mindset that actually helped me a lot on my fast days. And I got the mindset from Joel Osteen, which is a world-renowned, well-loved pastor. And I remember I was having a walk one beautiful summer day and listened to his sermon on running towards discomfort. The message resonated so much with me, and I actually applied it to my life in such a way where not only did it help me in my fasting, but it helped me in romantic relationships. It helped me with career decisions, and it helped me trim the fat in certain parts of my life, get up and go more. And that's all called running towards discomfort. In fasting, we are going to feel uncomfortable. Fasting is a really beautiful thing in that it helps with weight loss. It helps with curbing binge eating and regulating your hunger. It helps shrinking your stomach. It helps with health. The beautiful part, apart from weight loss and body, is the mental aspect of fasting. It is such a beautiful time to get spiritual, to tap into who you are and what you can do, to push past mental obstacles. And it's just a wonderful way to start challenging yourself, testing who you are, because there's so much power in being able to control what you put into your mouth. The spiritual side of fasting can help you discover a lot about yourself. It increases self-awareness. It helps you understand who you are more fully, understand hunger cues, like true hunger cues. Right? It helps you stop when you're actually full and actually and push away food when you're done. I never thought I could do something like that until I alternate day fasted and learned that it's okay to not eat anymore past what I'm good on. When we're on fast days, there's going to be discomfort. There's going to be that want of something to eat. There's going to be the want of food to comfort us during emotional times, because food is an emotional blanket. Food has the ability to be a blanket. We turn to it when we're happy, when we're sad, when we're upset, when we're bored, when we're frustrated. So when you take away all of that now and you're left with just yourself, you have to experience a level of discomfort, either emotionally or physically, in the form of hunger. And I use air quotes in hunger because if you're overweight, you're not truly hungry. If you're overweight, you're not truly hungry because the body will survive. You'll see that you can fast for quite a few hours. I've seen people in the ADF group fast for 60 plus hours, 60 plus, going on 72 plus hours, and they're fine because we have a lot of excess body fat as overweight individuals to live off of. But taking the time to feel the hunger and knowing that on the other side of it is the you've always dreamed of. And that's why I say run towards discomfort. When you feel discomfort when fasting, don't fight it. Ease into it. I almost compare it to when I was having contractions as a mom, You have contractions and they tell you to breathe into it. Because the more you fight it, the more it's going to hurt. But when you breathe with the contraction, you realize how much the contraction is actually helping the process. Wow, that is an amazing, I just came up with that comparison. And thinking about it, it's just like you have to have that discomfort. You have to go into the process, feel the discomfort, and know that this discomfort is helping the progress. I love that. So a trick I did when fasting was just feeling the discomfort and rolling with it. Because the more I fought it, the more I wanted to eat. I just kind of went with the flow, understood what was happening, and let the wave take over. Let the wave of discomfort take over you on a fast day. Because the more you fight it, the more you're going to want to eat. I swear, fall into the discomfort, run towards it, because the moment you feel the discomfort, it's kind of almost like you're doing something right because it's easy. It's easy to just end it. It's easy to end the fast and move on, and you're back to where you started or end the progress, any progress it's easy to do that. But there's a small percentage of people who experience it, push past, and end up finishing their fast and waking up the next day and able to have a wonderful feast day, knowing that they did a great thing the day before. Pushing into discomfort can apply to a lot of things. And I like to apply to other things because fasting helps you really work on discipline, willpower, motivation. You just find out how much you can do. It's not easy. Here's the thing. I never said it would be easy. Once you get going, you're on a roll. But to do the first week, if you can get past the first week, you're really going to find yourself on a roll. The first week is going to test your patience. It's going to test your motivation. It's going to test your discipline, your willpower, especially if you don't have fasting experience. You find that when things start getting uncomfortable, that's the moment you should really push, like run towards it. Whether it's, I don't want to go any further on this walk. It's usually that extra some odd mile that really took your exercise to the next level. It's usually that last page on an essay that you didn't want to do that took your B plus to an A plus. It's that usually that little push that will get you to the next level. And when I had that mindset during a fasting day, it's like a peace washed over me because I knew that this was a feeling I was supposed to feel this way. I'm not supposed to feel at ease. I'm supposed to feel a little uncomfortable during this time because I like to think about biblical days as well. Fasting was almost sacrificial. You have to give up in order to gain. I've never seen someone not have to sacrifice either a certain lifestyle, vices, bad behaviors, friends, environments. I've never seen it really happen in order to get to the next level of who we want to be. You cannot expect ease and get to the you deserve, because all deserving people have to work for it. It just doesn't land in your hands. And once again, fasting it's not a walk in the park. As much as it's not a walk in the park, it's so simple. All you have to do is not eat. It sounds so simple, especially when you're full. On feast days, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill this fast day. It's gonna be nothing. And then 3 p.m. on fast day, it's like, shoot me now. It's like, and I get it. I promise you I get it. There's this quote, and I like to requote it, but it's easy to speak of fasting when you're not fasting, right? But I need you to understand that what you experience on fast day is totally normal. You're supposed to feel uncomfortable. It's not going to feel good. You're going to have that rumble in your stomach. You're gonna be fine. That's what I need you to know is you're going to be fine. You're not going to faint. You're not gonna die. If anything, what you could do, hit yourself up with the element, which is electrolytes. I love element because it has the 3 key electrolytes that you need to replenish, which is magnesium, potassium, and sodium. If you choose not to, go ahead and use Himalayan sea salt and room temperature water. Himalayan sea salt because it has those components to replenish. What I like to do is sprinkle a bit on my tongue, drink it down with water. I'm not drinking seawater. No. I don't want you to be in pain. I don't want you to feel like you're going to pass out. There's remedies for that. But when it comes to the mental struggle of, should I just end this and be at peace and feel good? You're going to feel that way, but you need to push past the discomfort. Embrace the discomfort because it's going to come to you. But on the other side, it is what's waiting for you on the other side of discomfort is I didn't know. I'd been overweight for so long. I've been overweight since age 10. Since my parents divorced, I realized I put on weight and I had been struggling with weight loss until my 30s. I've come close. I've in my early 20s, I've, lost a good amount of weight, felt fit. I was doing Insanity. You remember Insanity? Yes, it was Insanity. Madness Shanti was doing to me. But after having two kids, I was just like, and being at my heaviest weight was 252 pounds. At my heaviest, I was 252 pounds, and I'm 5'10". I didn't know what it felt like to not be a size 14. I've been a size 14 since I was like 12. I didn't know what it felt like to be confident. I never knew what it felt like to see, I know this is so silly, like a thigh gap. You know that space in between your legs? I had never known what it felt like to be slim, to walk into a store and wear whatever. Huh? I don't have to shop in the plus size anymore. The clothes I wear don't come in double digits It's the weirdest thing, but it is so deliciously satisfying. And you always need to remember your why when you are going through your weight loss journey. Whatever weight loss you decide, you always need to remember your why. My health means too much to me because diabetes runs on both sides of my family, and it's not going to be my future because I choose health above all else. That was my why. What is your why? Let me know in the comments what your why is. You need to know your why, and it has to be a strong why. And here's the thing about whys as well. Your why doesn't have to be deep. It doesn't have to be so I can live to see my grandkids. It doesn't have to be because I'm so inflamed. If that's not your why, be honest. Your why could be as shallow. I've always said this. Your why can be shallow, but it has to resonate deeply within you. This has to be the fire under your journey to blast you off. Because if your why isn't strong, you're not going to keep it up because the why needs to remind you when the going gets tough, because it will get tough. It needs to remind you why you started in the first place. Your why could be, I want revenge on the ex-boyfriend that broke up with me 2 years ago, and now he's going to see what he's missing. Your why could be like, so I look better than Sheila at the office. She lost weight. Like, it could be whatever, but it needs to be it needs to be strong, like to the point where you hear it and you're like, oh, okay, this is why I'm doing it. It could bring you self-confidence. All of these things, I say all of this to say, on the other side of discomfort is the life you want. On the other side of discomfort is the life you want and you deserve. You deserve it. You deserve to feel confident enough to rock the dress, leave the man, ask for the raise, deserve the promotion, want that trip to Europe. You deserve all of these things. And that's on the other side of discomfort. On the other side of what you don't like is the life that you will deserve. And I love to use the word deserve because deserve means you worked for it. You can't expect it to fall into your hands. But I want you to give me your why. Think about your why because that needs to get you through. You will be astounded at how much better you feel. I will never forget the day I discovered journaling for weight loss, is what I call it, journaling for weight loss. It was an accident. My mom went to the hospital. Her heart was like just doing some palpitations. And I just decided randomly, I had a book in my car. I just decided to write, just start writing. It's the middle of the afternoon, maybe around like 2 p.m. I started writing. And, before I even started writing, I was planning on what I was going to eat, where I was going to go to eat. Yeah, you be planning the food time when we, go attack. By the time I finished the third page and closed the book, put down the pen, just sat there and I felt so light. I felt really light and I didn't feel hungry anymore because the hunger wasn't real. The hunger I was experiencing before, it wasn't real. And a lot of us are emotional eaters. It wasn't real. And it frightened me because the hunger was gone. All I needed to do was acknowledge my feelings and move it from me onto the paper. And that's how I discovered that journaling can help take away hunger, because now my emotions are being transferred onto paper, from me onto paper. I'm not eating it. I was astounded. I will never forget that day. I will never forget that day, because it's not like I read it somewhere. It's not like, research said, I read an article. I experienced it on accident, and it worked ever since. And a lot of people are missing that key in their fasting journeys. And I swear, if you just try it one time, that is my magical hack. That I it's not even a secret because I talk about it so often, but so many people just overlook it. It is the secret to feeling a lot better on your fast day. Move the emotions off of you. If you're a binge eater, if you're an emotional eater, if you're a triggered eater, if something is a cue for you to eat, you need to try journaling for weight loss. And I have a video. It feels really good. It feels really good. And I have this channel for you all to talk to you and tell you the what's what and the secrets and the hacks and the tricks and the tips. That is the biggest one I'm going to tell you. And if you want your results now o'clock, on your fast day, do 1 page of journaling. It is so subconscious. We don't, because we've been living this way for years and years and years and years. It's so easy to stress eat that it's just like, okay, I'm angry, give me the food. But I'm not gonna blame, I don't blame you. This is just a habit that we've learned to cope, but we have to learn how to cope a different way. Emotionally, you need to find a way to regulate. Journaling is a great way. If you have your therapy sessions, that's a great way. I'm not, as much as you find me soothing, remember, I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a licensed therapist. If you can do some form of therapy, if that's available to you, I always encourage that, especially in 2023. I want us all to heal. We have so many traumas that we are unhealed from, that we carry with us every day. And I just want us to leave the past in the past. We don't have to be a product of our past. We do not have to be a product of our past. We have the present, which is a present. That's why they call it the present. It's a gift. We have now, and then we could look forward to the future. But remember, God laughs when we make plans. So, we have now. That's the only thing that's assured of. We have the now. So if you take that time to say, hey, maybe today's a great day to schedule a therapy session, better help, see if my insurance can cover. Now is a great time to do it. It's never a better time than now. And I also wanted to touch on this really big key to feeling great on your fast day. I might lose you guys. I might lose you guys with this one. Let me tell you something about sleep. It's the key and the curse because when you get sufficient sleep, you move different. When you get sufficient sleep, you move different. Do not expect to get poor sleep and do all right in your fast day. It will never happen. I promise, it'll never happen. You'll always feel weak. Your brain will make poor decisions and you will have no motivation or willpower. If you are getting poor sleep, you're going to struggle on your fast days. Point blank, period. You need to find a way to get 7+ hours. It's mandatory. As you get older, you will realize how key sleep is. I have an overnight job, and on the days that I'm able to go to bed early, I feel like a champion at work. I am not short-tempered. I have All the patience in the world. I can walk from here to Timbuktu. When you get sufficient sleep, it regulates your hormones. And hormone regulation is a part of the fasting benefits. So you don't want to counteract fasting with poor sleep. You want it all to mesh conjunct and all in conjunction, and it'll just make your day that much easier. If you're getting 6 hours and less, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle. So if you find yourself struggling on fast days, what's your sleep looking like? Let's be honest. Are you on the phone too long? If you're just not meeting the requirement at like seven plus, you don't have to hit 8. And the great thing about going to bed early too is you don't have to fight anymore. You just go to sleep. The best time machine is sleep. You go to sleep in the night and it takes you all the way into morning and it's feast day. I couldn't think of anything better. Go to sleep. Go to bed. Give yourself a fighting chance, and it's free 99. It's free. You don't have to sprinkle anything in your water. You don't have to buy anything from Amazon. You just go to bed. Turn off the phone, turn off the computer, turn off the TV, and go to sleep. Put yourself out of your misery, right? Because, like, yeah, fasting is great. Like, it's peaceful and all, but it's uncomfortable. Yeah, I said run towards the discomfort, but if you could end it early, go to sleep. You close your eyes, you wake up, it's like 7+ hours later. I can't imagine a better way to just end the madness on a fast day. Just go to bed. Going to bed hungry used to feel like the weirdest thing to me. And if you don't like the feeling of going to bed like with nothing on your stomach, I always, always, always love a hot cup of tea. Hot cup of tea, even if it's just hot water. One time when I was clean fasting, I heard people were like just having hot water. I was like, who has just hot water? But it's actually highly satisfying. It is the weirdest thing. Hot water is very like soothing and it doesn't need to be flavored at all. Because I was just like staying away from, I had no unflavored teas, like just regular teas that weren't flavored. I had none that were clean fast friendly. So I just had the hot water. Have something nice and warm on your tummy, and a cup of tea is a wonderful way to go to bed without feeling that like hunger. Like going to bed hungry is never a great feeling. Tea will do that. So I got comments on the bitters in a couple of my videos, and people are like, how the heck do you take that? As a woman of Jamaican descent, we kind of have bitters throughout our cuisine. We believe in a lot of bush teas, and we have like drinks that are bitter. So me personally, I understand what bitter means, right? Some Americans won't be too used to the bitter taste. But even beyond that, the bitters that I suggested are like Cersei tea is level 4. The soursop bitters is like level 50. It's on another level. So how I take the bitters, right? I just keep a plastic straw inside the bitters bottle. Shake it, shake it, shake it. It's important to shake it because I believe like some of the ingredients settle at the bottom. I take a tablespoon sip. Now, the thing about it is some people try to chase away the bitter taste or put it all the way in the back of your throat so it doesn't hit your tongue. Bitters need to hit your tongue. That's where the magic happens. And unfortunately, as unpleasant as that is, the bitter needs to touch your tongue, because when that bitter part, because we have 4 taste sensories, we have sweet, salt, sour, bitter. When the bitter sensory part of your tongue is activated, that's when the bile stimulates. And the bile helps you digest your food better. It helps you absorb nutrients better. It helps colon cleansing. It helps just regulate the body and start purifying, right? The detoxification process. So it has to touch your tongue. I have it 1 time a day, only once, usually in the daytime, and have 1 sip before or during a meal, usually right before. So like at least the food could kind of like mask it a little bit. The following day, I will see the results of that sip with a very well movement. We'll call it that, a well movement. How to deal when you don't feel hungry or get full. Okay, so this is very common. Thank you, Annie, for that. It is very common to not feel hunger on your feast day. And I think it's two things, right? We're regulating the hormones, the hunger hormones, especially after you've slept. When you sleep, you're purest on your fast because you're not eating at all. You're not eating, you're not drinking. Sometimes on your fast day, you have a little of this, you have a bit of that, that. After you're sleeping, that's what, good 7 hours of sleep. That's your purest fast. And that is when the blood sugar really stabilizes. You have no cravings. You want nothing because you're just regulated. Your blood sugar levels are regulated. There's no spikes, there's no insulin triggers, right? And with that, you are regulating your hunger hormone, ghrelin. Ghrelin is just plain it even now. It's starting to understand that your body is not requiring as much because when you get into the pattern of fasting, and that's why I said it's so important to stick to the pattern when you're alternate day fasting, stick to your pattern so your body knows. Your body wants to get used to the pattern. It's just a part of the process. You're not going to feel as hungry anymore. And that's why I say alternate day fasting, you're really quells binge eating tendencies, not disorders. If you have a disorder, you need to go get that psychologically checked out and diagnosed. But if you have binge eating tendencies, emotional eating tendencies, if you feel like your stomach was stretched out too much, your stomach can shrink. Your stomach is a muscle and it could go back to how it naturally is supposed to be when you're not stretching it to the brim with a lot of food all day, every day, right? And then two, about hunger on feast days or the lack thereof, I feel like it's a mental thing. I swear I feel like it's a mental thing. I feel like when you take away people's opportunity to eat, they want to eat more. When you give them the opportunity after being denied the opportunity for like a day, when you give them the opportunity, they feel more at ease because there's no restraints. This is just my theory. I I feel like it's a mental thing, but it is my theory. I feel like when you have the option, you can take it or leave it. But when you take away someone's option, that's when they want the option more. Think about it. Think about it. Like, I want those pair of shoes. You can't have those pair of shoes. Oh no, I want them more. Now they're like, oh yeah, you can have those shoes. Yeah, I'll think about it. If I want it, I'll come back. You see, like, you're not like dying for it anymore because you can have it when you want to. Does that make sense? That's just my theory. I swear it's like a mental thing. The mind is wild. The mind be wild sometimes. But a lot of people, like, it's important to make sure you refuel. Like, your feast day is for refueling. So whether you're hungry or not, like, respect your hunger. If you're not hungry on feast days, that's a blessing. That's wonderful. When you do get hungry, don't eat cookies. Eat fats, proteins, and carbs, please. But on your feast days, the goal is to learn intuitive eating because you cannot alternate day fast forever. You're not going to alternate day fast forever. Maintenance, hi, my name is Colleen. I'm in maintenance at this point. I do want to lose like 10 pounds, but I've been in maintenance for it's almost a year now. What maintenance can look like for those who are alternate day fasting is either A, you learn how to respect your bodily cues and intuitive eating and have regular maintenance daily calories, or B, you can throw in 1 to 2 fast days a week, right? But the goal is to respect the body. On feast days, don't eat if you're not hungry. Eat when you're ready. And this is how we start to relearn how to eat because we've damaged that cue. That cue has been damaged through abusive eating. It's borderline abusive eating. Start using your feast days to understand what hunger truly is. Relearn hunger cues. If your stomach is growling, maybe it's time to eat something. If you're sitting in front of your computer twiddling your thumbs and you want something, I could eat something, but I'm not really hungry. I think I'll have some water. This is what healing is going to look like. This is what relearning the body is going to look like. And it's a beautiful thing, because when you've had such a disordered way of eating for so long, it's truly it's new to you. It's new. I had to learn all these things because I never really learned them. I never really knew what it was to eat and stop when I was finished. That it sounds mind-boggling, but it's real. So many of us have just damaged our bodily cues and just ate to the point of discomfort, ate until the plate was clean, ate whatever was on our kids' plates, finished what was in the pot, ordered more, went for seconds, got thirds. Like, what? Why are we doing this to ourselves? What are we trying to quell with food? It's time to relearn. So I love that point you made, Alyssa. I notice when you're truly hungry, a plate full of healthy food looks delicious AF, even more than the cookies. This is also learning what hunger is. If you can look at a plate of wonderfully lightly cooked steamed vegetables and be like, that looks delicious, I'm about to tear that. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, because that is another thing that will happen. You can expect yourself to crave nutrition. You'll start to crave nutrition more than the cookies, because your butt sometimes things will be too sweet now. Things will be too salty then. And just a mild bowl of salad just seems like it hits the spot. And it's such a wonderful thing. But guess what? Guess what? All of that is on the other side of discomfort. So I want you to know that your fast day is not supposed to be easy. It's never going to be easy. It gets easier. Okay. It will get easier, but it's not a walk in the park, and you shouldn't expect it to be. What you should do is expect the discomfort, expect the trials, expect the temptations. There will be temptations. I've had everything thrown at me. You know what my hardest fast days are? The ones with my kids. You know why? It's not because they have chicken nuggets left on their plates. It's not because they have candy around me. It's because my kids be stressing me. My kids stress me. I have two little boys and they love to fight with each other. And me yelling stop all day, what does that do? It raises my stress level. Cortisol's going through the roof. That's what triggers my hunger, the stress. So you really have to be aware of these triggers. It's not necessarily the leftovers on their plates. It's that these kids are driving me up the walls. When are they going to bed? I love my babies, but they drive me mad. They fight with each other like mad. And, moms understand, like moms get it. And even if you're not a mom, like if you witness these kids in school, if you work in a school or around kids, I'm gonna pray for you on this fasting. I swear I'll pray for you on this fasting journey, because some kids know how to run up some cortisol, honey. Okay, stress on 10. But you have to be aware. You just have to understand, and that's why it's so crucial. Do the emotional transference onto paper. These babies are driving me mad. Write it in your book. These kids. But I'm still going to keep going, because I can't wait to see who I am on the other side of this discomfort. Amen. Head on over to the ADF group on Facebook. You guys are doing so amazing over there. It's wild. I really hope you got something beneficial from it. I hope that you stay spiritually attuned, emotionally attuned. Rooting for you as always. You got this. You got this, girl. I love you.